On the 25th of March, 2026, the hidden, invisible, deeply buried architecture of your entire financial reality is about to crack wide open, shatter completely, and reassemble itself in a way that nothing, and no one, can ever undo, reverse, or take away from you. A breathtaking, historically rare, and profoundly powerful astrology alignment, one that has been quietly, silently, and invisibly building behind the scenes of your life for months, is finally, definitively, and permanently completing itself in the heavens directly above you. On this exact, precise, cosmically charged day, Venus, the radiant, magnetic planet of money, beauty, deep attraction, and profound personal value, forms a stunning, once-in-a-generation conjunction with Jupiter, the great, majestic, sovereign planet of massive expansion, undeniable luck, sweeping generosity, and completely limitless, uncontainable abundance, directly in the deeply nurturing, fiercely protective, and emotionally powerful water sign of Cancer. At this very same, breathtaking moment, this rare conjunction activates a hidden, magnificent grand water trine, connecting with Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, and divine spiritual vision, creating a sacred, ancient, cosmically perfect triangle of pure, unstoppable financial magic. This exact alignment, at this exact degree, has not occurred since 1938, and it will not happen again until 2051. This is not a small, passing, forgettable transit. This is the single most powerful, most miraculous, most life-altering financial activation the heavens have offered in nearly a century. The universe is handing you a golden, radiant, undeniable key today. To truly, deeply, and honestly understand the massive, sweeping miracle that is arriving on March 25th, you must first look back, with compassion, with honesty, and with raw, unflinching courage, at the heavy, exhausting, soul-crushing months you have just barely, painfully survived. For the past season, the planets have been moving backward, grinding slowly through deeply sensitive, deeply uncomfortable, and deeply personal emotional territory. You have been forced, against your will, to dig into the dark, hidden, suffocating corners of your relationship with money, with safety, and with your own fragile, wounded sense of personal worth. You have been made to face old, inherited, deeply ingrained fears about never having enough, old family patterns of lack, sacrifice, and invisible struggle, and old, poisonous beliefs that quietly, cruelly whispered that wealth, ease, and abundance were simply not meant for someone like you. You have questioned everything. You have doubted your path, your purpose, and your value. You have laid awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, chest tight, stomach churning, wondering if the silent, invisible, agonizing sacrifices you have been making in the dark would ever, in any lifetime, actually pay off. The heaviness that sat on your ribs, the confusion that clouded your once sharp mind, the bone-deep exhaustion that no amount of sleep could ever cure, these were not signs of failure, weakness, or punishment. They were signs of deep, sacred, necessary inner preparation. That dark, suffocating tunnel is now, officially, and permanently ending. The light ahead is real, and it is blinding. Stop everything you are doing right now, and listen to this next part very carefully, because what I am about to tell you will fundamentally, permanently, and irreversibly change how you see your entire financial future. Starting on March 25th, the way money moves toward you, the way wealth finds you, the way abundance flows into your physical, tangible, everyday life, is changing at its deepest, most structural, most foundational level. Under this rare, breathtaking, once-in-a-century Venus-Jupiter alignment in the deeply emotional, fiercely protective sign of Cancer, the universe is actively, aggressively, and permanently rejecting the old, exhausting, soul-destroying model of chasing money through stress, burnout, self-sacrifice, and endless, joyless grinding. Financial abundance under this sacred, exalted transit does not come through working harder, pushing further, or destroying yourself to prove your worth. It comes, quietly, powerfully, and undeniably, through feeling safer. Your bank account, your investments, your material reality, these are direct, honest, unfiltered mirrors of your internal emotional state. When you feel safe, truly, deeply, cellularly safe inside your own body, when you trust, without reservation, without doubt, without clenching, that the universe is actually, genuinely working for you and not against you, money begins to flow toward you with almost shocking, breathtaking, miraculous ease. To activate this energy today, sit in absolute quiet, place both hands firmly, gently over your physical beating heart, breathe slowly, deeply, intentionally into the very bottom of your stomach, and say out loud, with your full voice, that you are safe, that you are profoundly worthy of wealth, and that abundance, in all its forms, is your absolute, non-negotiable birthright. Fear blocks the flow. Peace opens the floodgates. Choose peace today, and watch the money follow. Your physical body, your tired, overworked, emotionally battered vessel, is also receiving a massive, sweeping, deeply miraculous wave of healing on this exact, sacred day. Cancer rules the stomach, the chest, the breasts, the entire digestive system, and the intricate, delicate, deeply sensitive web of your emotional body. If you have been experiencing unexplained, frustrating, bone-deep fatigue, a persistent, suffocating tightness in your chest, sudden, irritating stomach problems, or a nervous system that feels completely, utterly, and permanently burned out, you must understand this, and you must forgive yourself for it immediately. Your body has been processing, digesting, and purging years, perhaps decades, of stored, swallowed, buried emotions. Tears you held back to appear strong, words you swallowed to keep the peace, anger you buried to protect other people's comfort. As this alignment activates, that heavy, dark, toxic stagnation is violently, beautifully breaking apart. Drink more water, intentionally, gratefully. Eat foods that comfort, ground, and deeply nourish you. Protect your rest fiercely, unapologetically. Speak your buried truth out loud today. Let the tears fall. Your body is ready, willing, and desperate to be reborn. Now listen to me with your entire mind, your entire heart, and your entire body, because the universe does not reward passive, idle, hopeful waiting. It rewards deliberate, grounded, courageous movement. On March 25th, you must take 3 immediate, non-negotiable, life-altering actions. First, clean your living space, aggressively, thoroughly, and without sentiment. Cancer rules the home, the sanctuary, the sacred domestic sphere. Remove the clutter, the broken things, the dusty, heavy reminders of old, painful, expired chapters. Make your space feel safe, open, beautiful, and magnetically inviting to wealth. Second, take one real, tangible, undeniable financial step today. Open the savings account, make the investment, raise your prices, register the business, plant the seed, and trust Jupiter's exalted, massive, benevolent energy to multiply it exponentially. Third, set one firm, absolute, permanent boundary with a person, a situation, or an obligation that has been quietly, chronically, and relentlessly draining your vital life force. Protect your peace today like your entire future depends on it, because under this alignment, it absolutely, unequivocally does. Cancer, if you are reading this right now, you need to sit down, take a deep, slow breath, and prepare yourself fully, emotionally, and spiritually for the absolute, undeniable reality of what is happening to you today. This breathtaking, historic alignment is happening directly, precisely, and magnificently in your first house of identity, personal power, physical presence, and total life direction. You are experiencing a complete, sweeping, miraculous rebirth. The days of hiding inside your protective shell, of shrinking yourself small, painfully small, to accommodate the fragile, demanding egos of others, of silently doubting your own magnificent, undeniable, God-given worth, those days are officially, permanently, and irreversibly over. Starting today, pure, potent, unstoppable luck is magnetically, irresistibly drawn to you. Opportunities will appear as if from thin air. Doors will swing open without you even knocking. But this is not random, accidental luck. This is the universe finally, generously, lovingly paying you back for every single tear you cried in complete, utter silence, every sleepless night you carried the weight alone, and every moment you chose, bravely, quietly, to keep going when everything inside you screamed to quit. Step into the blinding, brilliant spotlight. Claim your crown. You have earned every single piece of this. Taurus, this powerful, sweeping, deeply transformative alignment is lighting up your third house of communication, ideas, intellectual power, and daily human connection. Your financial miracle on March 25th comes directly, specifically, and undeniably through your words, your voice, your ideas, and the conversations you have been too afraid, too cautious, and too self-doubting to start. You have kept your most brilliant, most innovative, most potentially life-changing thoughts locked inside your head, suffocated by silence, because somewhere, at some painful, formative moment in your past, someone made you feel, deeply, cruelly, and unforgettably, that your voice did not matter, that your ideas were not good enough, and that your words carried no weight. That lie, that heavy, poisonous, deeply ingrained lie, dies today. Speak up in the meeting. Send the bold, terrifying email. Share the idea you have been sitting on for months, quietly, nervously. Sign the deal that feels right, deeply right, in your gut. Your voice, your honest, unfiltered, courageous voice, is your single most valuable financial asset right now. The money you have been desperately, painfully waiting for is hiding inside a conversation you have been too scared to begin. Begin it today, boldly, unapologetically. Scorpio, Jupiter and Venus are activating your ninth house of massive expansion, higher learning, foreign connections, distant horizons, and bold, sweeping, terrifyingly grand vision. Your financial miracle does not come from your usual, familiar, tightly controlled territory. It comes from the unknown, the unfamiliar, the distant, the vast. You have spent years, perhaps your entire life, gripping tightly, fiercely, almost desperately to what you could see, touch, predict, and control, because trusting anything bigger, anything beyond your iron grip, felt dangerous, reckless, and deeply, painfully vulnerable. But that fear of the unknown, that heavy, suffocating need to control every outcome, every variable, every human being around you, has been quietly, invisibly keeping your abundance locked behind walls you built yourself. An opportunity connected to a foreign market, a global audience, a publishing deal, a legal resolution, or an educational pursuit is about to deliver a massive, undeniable, life-altering financial reward. The universe is demanding that you stop playing small, stop playing safe, and start thinking bigger, wider, and bolder than you have ever dared. Trust the unfamiliar. Leap toward the distant, glowing horizon. The net will appear the exact, precise moment your feet leave the ground. Pisces, your ancient, sacred, deeply spiritual planetary ruler, Jupiter, is activating your fifth house of creativity, pure joy, sweeping romance, bold self-expression, and literal, miraculous creation. You are stepping, finally, mercifully, and permanently, into a golden, radiant, breathtaking era where your single greatest financial asset is your authentic, unapologetic, deeply felt happiness. You have been exhausted, drained, and spiritually hollowed out from months of heavy emotional processing, endless psychic boundary setting, and quietly, invisibly carrying the grief, the confusion, and the collective pain of everyone around you. That burden is being lifted, permanently, today. The creative projects you have been too tired, too scared, too beaten down to pursue, the art, the music, the writing, the soul-born business idea, these are now ready, hungry, and desperate to be birthed into the physical, waking world. Stop forcing yourself down paths that drain your beautiful, sensitive spirit. Joy is your currency now. Create freely, play boldly, love deeply, and watch, with absolute, breathless wonder, as financial abundance flows to you not through struggle, sacrifice, or suffering, but through the simple, radical, revolutionary act of being completely, unapologetically, magnificently yourself. For every single sign of the zodiac, regardless of your chart, your moon, your rising, or your past, the 25th of March, 2026, marks the definitive, undeniable, cosmically ordained day that the heavy, invisible, suffocating walls around your abundance finally, violently, and permanently collapse. The painful, exhausting, seemingly endless waiting is over. The deep, grueling, invisible work you did in the dark, the tears, the doubts, the sleepless nights, the silent prayers, all of it is now ready, perfectly ready, to produce visible, tangible, undeniable, breathtaking results in the physical, waking world. Wherever you are right now, stop. Breathe deeply, slowly, intentionally into the very bottom of your lungs. Hold that breath for one sacred moment of pure, overwhelming gratitude. Then exhale, slowly, completely. Let your tense, raised shoulders drop away from your ears. Unclench your tight, aching jaw. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Let your guarded, exhausted, beautiful heart fully, completely, courageously open. The universe is moving forward today with unstoppable, magnificent power, with breathtaking, undeniable speed, and with deeply benevolent, deeply loving, divine purpose. And it is actively, deliberately, joyfully taking you with it, into a stunning, physical, touchable reality of profound, generational wealth, glowing, vibrant, radiant health, and absolute, unshakable, permanent emotional peace. The cosmic alignment is flawless. The sacred timing is utterly, completely immaculate. Step firmly, fiercely, and boldly into the warm, golden, brilliant light today. Trust the solid, unbreakable ground beneath your feet. And with an open heart, a quiet mind, and a soul finally free of fear, claim the magnificent, deeply abundant, and utterly beautiful life that has always, since the very first moment you drew breath on this earth, been destined, ordained, and divinely written to be yours. Receive it now. The gates are wide open. Walk through them. Your miracle is here.